mean, that's a legal issue. We have counsel here. I don't know that he wants to,
Well,
address
tonight
that.
we're here to,
I understand that.
you know what we're here to do.
I
We're here
understand
to
what
look
you're
at
here
this
to do. You're
plan.
here to advise. But at this point in time, everybody feels like we came in at the last minute, and I understand that. We're here a little bit late. We wanted to voice our opinion, maybe we should have been here a little longer ago. The timeline didn't fit in, it wasn't advertised to us the way we felt it should have been advertised. So right now, yeah, I understand we're coming in a little bit short, a little bit late. But what can be done now? Because we are on a short timeline.
What can be done now is we can only address the subdivision plan that's before us.
Tonight, we're here to review a minor subdivision. And believe it or not, this is a minor.
It's not minor, that's the
It
problem.
is in the perspective of what's being done. Now, that said, we just received this information tonight. That doesn't mean we need to take action tonight. The form typically for this, and this is in hindsight though, but it would have been at the Chester County, not Montgomery County Commissioners. What are those meeting dates? Do you know that, what's their next meeting date?
Next Thursday, the 21st.
Thursday, the 21st.
Yes, first and third Thursday.
Where is it located?
They're at 1 Montgomery Plaza in Norris.
What time?
10 o'clock.
Thanksgiving.
Charge of using our opinion to put it together in a format that can be presented to them so that it's not going in there. And nothing against anybody, the opinions of us are not going to matter. Let's come out of a legal format and present this in a manner of which these guys can understand.
I would just say it's the Board of Supervisors that make all the final
So
decisions.
we need to talk to our board of supervisors. Our board of supervisors can come up with a plan.
Now, okay, and to that extent, their next meeting is the work session, which will be Monday, November 18th. So that is the first opportunity you really get where you should all show up and let your Board of Supervisors know exactly how you feel.
Second question. If this goes through, the way that it was explained to me was that this property would be to be developed as institutional. If it was going to be institutionally developed, then only 10% of the land could be
I
developed.
think you're gonna get the state
And no more than
attorney.
10%. Now, and that's a big difference between 10% and 50%. I know this might not be the venue, but I understand that there's an open space deemed necessary, or open space is deemed portions of this, and then only 10% can be developed. And that parcel of land has to be greater than 10 acres for you to develop it, or for them to develop it. What are the restrictions upon them, once they buy it, if it goes through, because chances are it's probably gonna go through, but if they get this, what are the chances of it being developed?
I can't speak to what, I can't speak to what the chances are of being developed because I don't control the property. Someone else does. So that's a question for Mid-Atlantic to answer.
The chance is not zero.
The chance is not
No,
zero.
my question is, this: as the township, as the planning commission, the question is, are they able to develop greater than 10%? Because I heard, I talked to
I have to look at the ordinance again. That was supposed to be in this packet and it's not, and I apologize for that. That ordinance, that section of the institutional ordinance is currently being amended. It is out at the county for their review, which is a standard that the state requires, required for them to have a 30 or 45-day review period. Once they review, which I think they've done, we can bring it back. It will be in front of the planning or the board of supervisors, and that's when we'll vote on it then. It's the cleanup ordinance.
December 3rd. About that, that was, you explained to me that the proposal was, in order to protect this, if this goes through, that 10% was the number. They couldn't develop more than 10% of that property. Okay, and what are the chances of that being approved? Who approves that?
Well, the planning commission has already set that and taken action.
They've recommended
Recommended approval, but now it's up to the Board of Supervisors.
So this goes through, what I'm trying to get across to people is, I think, from talking to some representatives here at the township, that the plan was not allow them to develop more than 10%. And what that means is, looking down there at the Pfizer's and the Merck, yeah, there's the buildings there, but a lot of that open space has been preserved. So we want to make sure that if this does go through, that 10% stays and it doesn't go to 50%. Because if it goes to 50%, then we're in real trouble. It's a matter of 10% obviously a lot less. You have 200 acres, they can develop 20 acres versus 100 acres of building being on there. That's a major difference. And for my neighbors that are across from me, there's a parcel of land there that is 9 acres or so. From what I understood is that they can't develop that unless it's over 10 acres. So those are the things that I think we need to make sure that we talk to the board of supervisors about. If we can't get this to stop, those parameters have to be voted on and make sure that those go through versus allowing everything to go through without our say.
You were next.
All right, my name is Hillary Brazillo. I live at 193 Country Ridge Drive, and I'm a mother of 2, and I need to get home and put 2 kids to bed, so I'm going to be real quick. I grew up in King of Prussia my whole life, and I watched that area be built up beyond belief. I still work there. There is not an ounce of open space in that area. I made a conscious decision to move out to this area because of the farmland, because of the open space. It is precious to me, my family, my children. And to see that us lose that is unreal to me. I think that I hear what people are saying about currently, this is not going to be developed, or that's not in a current phase. And I don't think that anybody's foolish enough to believe using the word currently doesn't help me at all, because I know currently can change to anything in the future. So the current plans might be small, but in the long term, they can be anything. And so it does matter to me. My home is here, my family's here, and so I'm speaking from the heart that that is important to me, and I would like that set aside. Whatever we can do to save that, I'm on board with. So.
My name is Kathy Williams, and I live at 265 Old State Road. I feel like the rest of you that it was sort of snuck through and very not transparent. I don't go to township meetings, I don't go to planning commission meetings, that maybe I get a global connect when you're going to have a road closed or when something's going to happen. I think you could have sent a global connect on this issue at the township level and the planning commission level, so that you would have gotten these people
Or the
here back
county
in
level.
July and August. It just snuck through, and you all have technology to do it. And in the future, I hope you make use of it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is John Rubinsky, 145 Gates Head Way, right around the corner. My property backs up to the park you're talking about. It sounds to me, just being a fly on the wall tonight, that the devil's in the details, and when you guys got presented things so quickly, the details aren't very clear. And that's what there's a lot of argument about, is the details. So is there any way of slowing this process down so all the details can be worked out and made more transparent, so there's not a lot of confusion to us, the
Yes.
people around here?
Yes, I believe there is.
I think that would be the most appropriate thing to do, is just kind of put the brakes on, slow it down a little bit, go over everything that you were just presented, make sure everybody's aware of it, and then maybe at a later date, come back when all the details are kind of ironed out, and 10%, 50%, all these things that are flying around and more concrete, so that there's not a lot of confusion, and everybody can put at ease, at least know a more clear path of what's really going to happen. Is that possible?
Well, I don't want to speak for the other members, but while I do see this as a minor subdivision, despite the large acreage, I also see that with the huge response that we've gotten, obviously, from the residents, and just getting it tonight, you know, we obviously have the right to table it to the next meeting. That would be December 11th. And quite frankly, that gives you more than ample opportunity to talk to your supervisors and show up on November
Sounds like a
18th.
plan.
It also gives you a chance to go to the county and also talk to them. I would encourage you to do such.
I just get nervous when fellows are very pushy about timeline.
I don't like that assessment.
Right. Yeah, like you said, you guys just got presented information tonight or very recently, so you obviously had time to go through it all. That concerns me, so like you said, 17%, even though this is a small subdivision.
From a subdivision plan, I will say, it looks reasonable. And with what has been put through for limiting the growth in the, to the 10%, that also, I think, was very well done by the township, to be quite truthful. However, you have a lot of concerns, and I think you need to express them.
Thank you for your time.
In the right forms, and those are the two.
Thank you.
Martin McManus, Hampshire Court. Martin McManus, Hampshire Court.
Okay.
I just want to say that these two guys are told them what they did and how they did, but it's not their land, it's our land. It's the county's land. And for them to just go out and do what they did without giving us notification, letting us know what they were doing with our land, that I appreciate that you're taking another month to look at all this, and I hope everybody does go to the county meetings, to the township meetings, and express yourself. But remember, it's not their land, it's our land that they're selling, and we're not getting the money.
Small piece.
We're good on park.
71 acres.
We have the park already, we're not getting it, we already have it.
Ward Rollins, 1497 Yager Road. Ward Rollins, 1497 Yager Road. Back of my house sort of butts up to the back of the property there. My concern, it sounds like, no disrespect, but it all sounds like everything's very shady and underhanded. I agree with selling just the parcel and not allowing anything else to go, because my concern is it's going to go private then. And if it goes private, what's to stop them from blocking everybody from access to all of that? And it's a playground for all the kids and everybody around here. They use it for hunting, biking, hiking, everything. And it's a concern that property value is going to drop. It's going to lose its appeal. And I'm all for selling just the parcel, the footprint, and blocking everything else and keeping it county. Because I don't trust anything that's being said. No disrespect.
So, comment that you made earlier regarding this being a small zoning issue.
Minor subdivision.
Mine, I stand corrected. Please excuse me, I'm a lineman, so. Really and truthfully, this is not small zoning or minor zoning issue at all. It has to start with you guys, because it is clear to me from a business perspective that not only has Montgomery County gone away and done their homework, they've got their legal team on side, okay? They've done return on investment, they've done all their projections, they've done all of their bookwork, and they've got the purchaser who wants to come along and look at development of this property and see how they can work their way around it. It's going to start with you guys. You're our first line of defense in this. I would ask that number one, we follow due diligence and due process, and number two, that we make sure that we have the best counsel we possibly can to stand up against people who want to propose, oh well, we'll just buy this little piece, oh well, now we've got that, then we'll develop out to here, and it keeps expanding. And the problem with the corporate world and corporate America is that they do push, they will push, and they will tread on you, and if you get in their way, they can shoot you in. So please, let's start it here.
I encourage everyone to come to the December 3rd meeting with the cleanup amendment for the institutional. We'll go into greater detail there about the language that we're proposing that is moving forward.
That's the Board of Supervisors.
Board of Supervisors meeting. That, I'm sorry, December 2nd. I'm always off my head. Here. I can discuss that language and we can go through the changes to the institutional district and what it means for this property, for any institution that's owned property in the township, and how it will do exactly what you were asking, sir. What you were looking for, that language is in process for us already, to be amended into our ordinance.
And is that going to be transparent? Is it going to be a matter of public record, or is it going to be?
It's a zoning amendment. There's an official hearing. There's, it's been advertised in the paper,
Okay.
and,
George is telling me it's December 16th.
okay, it's December 16th. I'm sorry.
What number, what it is?
Yeah, there's a legal notice published, it's on the agenda, there's typical ways, you can call the township and talk to them and go from there.
The Board of Supervisors agendas are on the township's website.
There's also a little slip that shows when they are, it's on the website. The next one, I believe it's still on, right? November 18th is the work session. So that would be the first opportunity.
Carol Pennypatrick, 271 Hampton Road, and my property is right where connected. It's that little space at the top, little flag up the top. That's where I live. And 32 years ago, we bought that property, and 32 years ago, I started cutting that grass. And I've been cutting that grass every week, sometimes two times a week. If that goes private, they'll probably take it away from me. I need to know what I have to do to fight them on that teeny little spot there. I'll help fight with the bigger sections too, but I'm not big enough to go against Mid-Atlantic.
You're talking about you were mowing the
I know that whole section, yes I do. And I've been doing it for 32 years now. And I think everybody appreciates the fact that there's no, tall grass along there. And my fence line is probably on their property if it gets sold. And they did survey, by the way, if anybody didn't know that. They did survey already. I have all the pink little tabs up on my property now. So, nah, it doesn't stop anything. It doesn't stop it. Okay, that's why.
I live on Yeager Road, 1619, right on the corner of the 10 acres that aren't being considered. I understand it's a simple subdivision, and typically if you're talking about a residential area or someone's home, it typically is a simple subdivision, but we're talking about open space and parkland. There's nothing simple about what we're talking about right now. So I just think that that's important. I do appreciate, and I hope you do, table this for another month so we do have time to react. We found out maybe 2 days ago about everything that was going on. We don't come to all the township meetings. I think from here forward, many of us will. I've only been a resident of Upper Providence for the last 2 years. I've been a resident of Montgomery County for 15 years. I say Upper Providence is not for sale, and shame on you for selling it.
Yes.
I'm David Buckwalter. I live at 250 Hampton Road, and for my entire life, as of thus far, I've lived here, and I've always walked, biked, walked my dogs. I've hiked on that trail. I've been to the farm. I've seen all the animals. I've seen it progress as it has. I've seen animals come and go. I remember there used to be a bear there. I saw that bear. I used to visit that bear every single week, and even that bear has since died. But it was a very cool experience. Like, I would hate to see like any of that land get developed because it's just insane. I've just seen so much change around here. It's been a lot, and development is good, but this, I think, is a little close to home. I really don't want it to change. I'd like to see it stay the same. It's great land, but it needs to stay where it is.
I'd like to thank the audience for all your comments. They have not gone on deaf ears, I assure you. I would like to give the county a chance to rebut before we take a motion.
Once again, I'm going to go back to the point that it is indeed a simple subdivision. We are literally dividing it down to existing road right away, much the way other city of Providence was divided when the 422 Expressway was established. This is the natural boundary. These are two separate parcels. What happens to the parcels after the subdivision occurs is really another matter. This is
If you stop it, it's not another matter.
dividing properties and establishing two separate parcels. That's really all we're asking. Certainly, there are a lot of strong issues about the future of the Parkhouse property.
Let's address them.
Important property. We recognize that it's important property. You're awesome.
Thank
you. Job updating
My
the
questions won't be answered.
district
Thank you for
to
letting me
give,
know.
supervisors full
I'm
control
going away.
for how that property
I don't think I would have planned to do this. 2 weeks. I leave the 21st.
As has been testified earlier, healthcare is changing and will dramatically change. Aging population changes, and there will be changes.
One who's awesome is Lisa. Yeah, healthcare changing. There's going to be no need for it in the future, is there?
They're gonna just put us on a tree chipper.
Pretty much.
Does provide for a conditional use process that would enable the township to engage with any property owner on that property to address all the critical issues that impact the surrounding neighbors and the community as a whole. And I think that's where the effort should be concentrated, to make sure that that ordinance addresses the needs of the community and the future of the property, rather than fighting this particular sale through the subdivision. The subdivision is really a simple matter. It is just establishing something, quite frankly, that was already established 75 years ago, recognizing it, reporting it, so it's clear and concise.
All right, my name's Debbie Math. I live on 2nd Avenue, and I am an employee of Parkhouse. Go Parkhouse. My question for you is, if this sale and all these ordinances aren't passed and the sale doesn't go through before January 1st, what's it going to cost the county to pay up the employees for all their vacation time and that sort of stuff? Is that why it's such a rush to get through this and do it secretly?
I don't think anything's been done secretly.
This doesn't seem too secret.
Not now.
Stop. Okay. Yeah, why the rush now? Is it because you want to be done before January 1st?
Because Mid-Atlantic has the upper hand, that's why, right now.
So the county doesn't have to pay us for our vacation time that we have earned this year for next year?
Now, whether the deal were to close by the end of the year or some point after the end of the year. It'll be after.
Yeah.
It would not change in terms of the employee payout.
And land is money.
And land's not in it, gotcha.
Can you recap for us?
It's all about money, that's all. Hey, we can get Obamacare over there.
Okay. Lee, would you review different dates that our residents may be interested in?
November 18th, for the supervisors meeting. It's already done, so it's 7 o'clock.
Where's that at?
7 o'clock here.
Right here. Toll Brothers comes out and burn the crowds
All dates are at
down.
7 o'clock right here. We'll have the 12 Board of Supervisors meeting, there's a 12/11 planning commission meeting here, that would be the next meeting.
What's that?
Yes.
County meetings are held on the first and third Thursdays of the month at 10 a.m. There's some contact information here for the county.
Do we know where they are?
Montgomery Plaza.
Across the courthouse. The electricity to that other parcel.
Everybody got that?
There's no electricity. Once you separate.
Okay. I believe we had a lot of discussion, very good discussion. I thank everyone there. I think we're all proud of what Parkhouse represents. I know when I talk to people, there's a lot of positive things. I think we want to see that continue. We have to take care of our own people within our township, within our county. I think what I'm hearing from you is you're okay with that part. It's the rest of the land. Well, you have an opportunity. I don't know what the other members of the planning commission feel here. I'm now going to entertain a motion, and we'll go from there.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we table this until the next planning commission meeting.
There's been a motion and a second to recommend that we table this matter to the next meeting, which would be December 11th. Any questions on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed? I represent yourselves at those meetings.
Thank you.
Okay, we will take a brief 5-minute recess, and then we will continue our meeting. Okay?
See you, nice to meet you. Take care, guys. I'll tell Luke, say hello. Go to the big China shop. Yeah, get Louis moving, all right? I'm gonna talk to him. We'll try. He's pretty good guy. What do you think, Mark? What do you think? I told Lisa, I told Jerry and Maggie, she said you guys are so nice. I told Maggie too. I told you guys. Are they in touch? Jerry and Maggie? I think they're on Facebook. Yes. What would you do? Leave your husband at home? Real late for me. I must have. We're always over there with our dog. No problem. Yeah, I work like I said, okay. Yeah. Okay. Stay on from 114 years. I don't know whether it's going to be 54 because I'm not on the space. So, and Gambon was there just right on the skirts of or Hamburgers, he's in call it you can't get it through freaking that. He's not going to get what he wants. He wants to use everybody else. Right, he just do that. And he's not a cook, exactly. It's one of those things.